Hey everybody, once again, it's Forrest with the Poulsbo Rotary Club and my friend Jim's son. Jim, welcome to the program here.
Oh, thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey, good. Well, I'm so glad to be a part of the club with you, Jim, and all the other talented people that we have in that room. And as we look back on our life, just you have mentioned that you've had maybe three careers in life. I think I've had three or four too. And the value of these short talks is to say, what's one chapter of your career that's been most rewarding and taught you the most, maybe, or had the most value? What comes to mind as you tell that story?
Well, I think probably the most gratifying and successful, well, they're all successful, but my business, when I bought, I was a retired Navy officer. Then I worked for United Airlines for just over 5 years as started as an analyst and got promoted to manager. And then we found ourselves in the Northwest, and I decided to buy a business.
Okay.
I bought a body shop. I bought an auto body shop, and mostly because I like cars. You know, I'm a car buff, and thought, well, this would be a cool business. And how hard can this be? I mean, I had a career of aircraft maintenance in the Navy and at United Airlines, where I was a business analyst. And Well, I realized that I knew nothing about that industry, the collision repair industry. And I thought it'd be cool maybe to open a shop and restore old cars, and that'd be gratifying.
Nice.
And I was looking, but gratification was a big part of it because in the when I worked at United, it was also we were working in systems, and in systems you never finish anything. It's always ongoing. You never quite complete. You know, it's always new stuff, and while it's challenging sometimes and interesting, it just there's no. I never got a huge amount of gratification from that,
Aha. Oh,
except for my team that I had there at United. They were motivated, and I liked it. They loved working there, and they liked me, and that was nice. So when I bought the body shop, I thought, well, I can bring some of that same leadership to these guys that are working on cars and fixing dents and painters and all that. And I went into it pretty naive in that respect,
right.
and realized that's not how these guys operate.
Oh, okay.
They are not motivated quite the same way that you motivate sailors or professionals like programmers, systems engineers, and those types of folks. They're not the same. They are not motivated in a like manner. So the challenge was is that they expected from me to tell them what to do. You know, well,
Okay.
we have a car with a dent on it. How do you want us to fix this? Well,
Nice.
I had no idea. You know, I was not a body man. You know, I was a businessman. So I had to learn that. I had to go back. I had to take all the training I could find and get myself to the point where I could give them some sound legal good direction on
Nice.
to do, you know, and get them trained as well. Because what I wanted was, hey guys, you've done this for 20 years. You decide your repair plan. You decide how you're going to repair it, and I'll make sure you're doing it correctly. So, you know, all this time when this was going on, I was losing money, of course, well, you know, I need to either make this place profitable or I need to just give it up and lock the door and walk away.
Sure. Wow.
So we embarked on a long training exercise and trying to retain employees and getting myself up to speed and learning business. I have a master's degree in business, but that doesn't mean you know how to run a business.
There you
That
go.
only means you
Exactly.
know that you have the tools to run a business if you
Yes.
know how to apply the tools.
Mhm.
And that was good experience for me. The realities of leases, payroll, bills, receivables, payables, all that stuff. Managing these types of people, motivating them, paying them enough, was a huge learning experience that lasted about 3 or 4 years until I finally was comfortable with my business, running
Yes.
it. And by that time I had become a instructor. I was instructing some collision repair programs, actually. That's so that goes to show you, you don't have to actually have done any of that to instruct it. If you
What do they say? You got to stay one chapter ahead of the
Right.
students, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I ended up teaching, I think, 30 different programs.
Oh boy, wow.
I started out with airbags and restraint systems because that was an area that since I had an electronics background, I could easily learn that and teach that and know a lot more than the students in the class.
There you go.
And then I got into, I kind of avoided painting and welding, those two areas where I knew I was way, way behind the people that I would be teaching. So I avoided those, but everything else I could handle.
Well, and what you're sharing, Jim, if you don't mind me observing, I think it's great to have your experience in the service, then in the kind of more cerebral, in the analysis world, and then to take the leap into owning a business that is in the nuts and bolts of fixing cars and collisions. It's a great example of folks. There's different chapters we're going to have in our career. They call on different talents, and you didn't give up. That's the part I really like, is you took the training to say, whoa, I've got to understand my team, and I've got to get my own game up to a point where I can inspire them and work better. Those are good lessons for somebody who might be listening to all this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think you really hit it on right on when you said don't give up, and that was I would not give up, and I was going to make this work,
Good.
and it finally did work. And at the end I had, no, not at the end, but as we went along, we were, what's the highest recognition for a collision repair shop is a gold class facility. And
Okay.
we managed to get there in 5 years, and we were the gold class. We stayed gold class for the whole time I owned it, and the shop is still gold class, and it's going on 25 years. So
Oh my goodness. Well, that's a long-term success.
yeah,
Well, and as you look back, and again, we're both getting a little gray around the gills, but if you were to take the wisdom of those years, you said one key part. If someone was thinking about, career change or going into something that is hands-on, like car and collision repair, what advice would you give them about going on that career path?
I would say, before you go into it, make sure that you understand the industry.
Mm,
You have the financial resources to keep yourself afloat as you learn and get into the industry,
sure.
and have the determination not to give it up when one of many things happen
Because
as
it's
you go
gonna
along.
something's gonna happen. You know it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure it will. And
Wow.
I'm really frankly proud of the way the shop turned out. I mean, the guys were motivated. They never wanted to leave. There was no, I mean, they had offers of more money, more
Mm,
benefits to leave and go and work somewhere else, and they
wow.
never. And I think the key is getting them to trust you as a manager or owner,
Yeah.
because in that industry, an owner will walk out there and fire somebody in the spot for no good reason.
Oh
They
boy.
never really felt secure. Like the owner would have a bad day and go out and fire the entire shop.
Jeez. Yeah.
So, I tried to get an atmosphere kind of like my United Airlines team, where they were comfortable. We worked well together. I had a diverse group of folks there that that worked well. I tried to get that same atmosphere in the body shop, where
Sure. Good.
mutual respect the key is real basic. You compliment them when they do a good job, which is usually daily, and then do we hit a timer? um,
No, that was a spam call, which we're
what
just going
was
to ignore.
it?
I should have turned off my
um,
ringer. I think what's so important about what you're saying is to be humble enough, even if you're the boss, to say, I'm going to cultivate trust with the team and to where my guys can trust me and respect each other. You're showing them respect, not that you're the boss and you can take them out at any moment. That's a
right.
critical thing.
Yeah.
Important.
I think that was a big difference in my business compared to other body shops. I mean, there was none of that in those other shops. The guys worked there for pay, and that's it. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so so I was proud of the way it turned out. And when I got ready to sell the business, of course, I kept that pretty secret because that's a sensitive issue with employees.
Sure. Yeah.
And it worked out fine. The guys threw me a nice going away party, and thanked me for being there and having the opportunity to work there, and it was wonderful.
That's
And
huge, Jim. Well, I
uh,
think that's part of what we all can do in the world is show kindness and respect to others, and it lifts the game. All the ships rise with that kind of tide. And what was the name of the shop?
it was North Kitsap Auto Rebuild when I owned it, and
Okay,
now it's oh, I'm having a mind. And Soto North Kitsap is the name of it now. The owner of that shop bought into a franchise and renamed it. So
okay, got it.
yeah, but it's going strong still, and they have, of course, have had a turnover of employees. I think there's one or two left that were there before, but it's gratifying to know it's still going. I mean, most businesses like that just kind of close and they go
Sure.
away, but yeah,
Well,
I
that's
think
important. That's even called what I think of as a legacy, meaning I set up a situation, a set of conditions where the business can move ahead and keep going without me. And I had some of that I'll share when I do my talk like this. But I'm so glad to have this chat with you. And if you were going to do it all over again, would you do
um,
it?
yes, I would. I could have pretty easily, I think, um, got a position at Boeing when I left United Airlines. I had
Sure,
the airline industry. I had a lot of uh, colleagues and friends in the industry. By the time I left United, and I'm relatively sure I could have got a similar position at Boeing
sure,
and
yeah,
worked for them, and I might have been financially better off, although I'm financially well off now.
sure.
But I could have been wealthy,
Uh-huh.
maybe. I
Well,
don't know. I don't know, but it's really not. The satisfaction of purchasing and owning business for 20 years and having that being successful is far better than having more money in the bank.
oh, that's a big takeaway, man. I think that's so important is what's the star we hitch ourselves to? If it's to have the most boats or the most biggest houses or whatever, that may be a fool's errand because there could be a lack of satisfaction along the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Good.
I agree with that.
Hey, everybody. Well, I hope you get to meet Jim's son in person. And if you'd like to be our guest at the Rotary Club in Poulsbo, we meet at 7 in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, if I remember, is how that goes. Jim, thanks for being with us here on this program.
Great. Thank you. Great to be here.
Good. Okay, everybody. Talk to you all soon and appreciate you listening.